Hey guys, Matt Starr, mattstarcoaching.com. I hope you're having a great day. I want to talk to you today about being realistic. And that's something I often hear in my work when I'm talking to people. They had a dream when they were a kid or they had a dream when they were a teenager, but life started happening and they had to be realistic. And so what I always tell people is, for me as a teenager, being realistic meant acknowledging the fact that if I did not pursue this dream of mine, I was going to be miserable and I would never be fulfilled. That fear of being without living my passion, living a life without my passion, the fear of that was much greater than any other fear, like not having enough money or not fitting into society or disappointing my parents or whatever. And now for me, when I was younger, it was playing music, right? So that sounds like a cool thing. And who wouldn't pursue that, right? But I have a lot of friends and people that I used to know back on the East Coast who stopped. They stopped pursuing it. And often what I hear is, well, I had to pay the bills. And so let's start with that one. So I had to pay the bills. Okay, so we all have gifts. And whether everything that we do is creative. So even if you're an accountant, you're still a creative human being, right? We all have gifts. And so what I encourage when I do workshops at School of Rock around the country, what I tell the kids is, if you have a gift, it's important to learn how to monetize that gift so that when it happens either one or two times, either you're getting out of high school and you're just getting into the working world, or you go to college and then you're coming out of college. So I deal with a lot of kids sometimes at music schools and they have tons of skills. More, they know more beats than I do. They can play beats from all over the world, all different kinds of rhythms. But if they don't have a vision for themselves and they don't have a way to monetize those talents that they do have, they're going to end up having to kind of surrender to so-called reality, which is I got to pay my bills, right? So that's a big one. If you have gifts, look at ways of monetizing that. And a lot of times, especially with creative people, there's a real discomfort in talking about money, period, let alone saying, oh, hey, would you come do this thing? Would you paint this picture for me? Would you perform at this party? Would you like to act in my play or my movie? To say, yeah, sure, I get paid X amount of dollars an hour, or X amount of dollars, for a certain project, right? So there's a lot of discomfort around that. And you've just got to get over that. You've got to get over that. I know for me, all my heroes, whether it was, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, or Andy Warhol, or the guys in Kiss, they're all comfortable talking about money. And they had lots of it and still do, right? So those are my heroes. So I like the rock star part of it, and I like the music part of it, and the exceptional musician part of it. But there's also the success part of it, and I was drawn to both. So that's excuse number one, right? Is that I had to pay my bills. Another one is, well, I had to get married, or I didn't have to get married. So maybe some guys had to get married, but a lot of times with men, I hear, well, I got married, and you know how that goes. They say, like guy to guy. Well, I'm married. I'm happily married. I've been married over 11 years. And for me, how that goes is I have a wife who is supportive of what I do. And then, they'll say, well, you got someone who's supportive. Why would you want to spend your life with somebody who wasn't supportive of your passion? So this is a big chunk, and this is about living a conscious life, but living a responsible life, where we're responsible for the choices that we make. Right? When we're kids, stuff happens to us, but eventually 18, 19, whatever it is, it's time to take control of your life and choose the life and understand that you've created this life you have, whether you like it or not. And I've certainly had times when I looked at my life and I said, I don't like this, but I had to realize that I created it and I chose it. And I would look back, and if I'm really interested in learning the information and the lessons, I can see, and you will see, oh, right, that moment there, and that moment there, and that moment there, and I've chosen these things, right? So the life you're living right now is not because of a choice you made today or yesterday. It's because of a choice you made 2 years ago, 6 months ago, 10 years ago. You know, these things take time to come to fruition. And so getting married is a wonderful, beautiful thing if you're with the right person. But what does that say about yourself if you're choosing to be with somebody who doesn't support your passion? Like, she thinks you're great, but this music thing has to go to the side, you know, or this painting thing has to go to the side, or this furniture building thing that you're doing in the garage, that has to go to the side. We got to get real. We got to pay bills. Well, so there's two bits to that. One is, you know, you want to pay your bills, so figure out how to monetize your talents. And also, get with somebody who's supportive. And I know that women experience this too. A lot of times men are really threatened by women who are motivated and have a strong will and have a vision for themselves. And guys can be just as non-supportive of that generally because they're threatened by it. So ladies, you've got to pick a strong man, and don't say, well, all the men are this way, so blah, blah. Don't do that one. That's no good. That's no good. That's going to guarantee poor results. There's a perfect man for you who loves you and accepts you and supports you and is happy when you're at your best, right? Not threatened. So that's a piece there. And then the other piece is, well, I got married and then we had kids, and you know how that is. Well, for me, what that was wow, I'm supporting my family, playing music, which is great. We got one kid, and then we're gonna have another kid. This is gonna cost a lot of money. I gotta make a lot more money. How am I gonna do that? And I had to take a look at what I was doing, what was working, what wasn't working, what else can I do, and how can I up my game? But I think for some people, again, if they haven't monetized the talent, there's a very real thing of, I got to support some people here, and it's going to cost more money. And it does, but you can monetize your talents. And again, lean on your faith, whatever it is. Lean on your faith. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. If you're willing to do this, it can and will happen. So when my wife and I decided that we were going to have kids, one thing I said to her was, I would want you to stay home with our kid for at least the first year, if not like the first few years, because that's what I grew up with. And that's, to me, makes sense. And she said, I feel the same way. And I said, okay, great. So we're on the same page. But who's going to pay for this? But where there's a will, there's a way. And we just leaned on our faith, and we leaned on each other and said, look, we're doing something great here. We're bringing a child into this world. This is a loving home. This is the right thing to do, and we will be taken care of. Now, you just don't just do that and then go take a nap. I got into action, and every day I'm asking, guide me. Let me know what it is that I can be doing to move this whole thing forward. And again, this is a non-denominational thing. If you have any belief in anything bigger than yourself, then, lean on it. Unless you think you can make a planet on your own, or a star, or, a toaster, or anything, then if, maybe you control the universe. I'm guessing you don't. If you could circulate my blood for me for free every minute of every day, then you are the master of the universe. But I'm pretty sure you're not the one who's doing it. So just kind of a system that's set up pretty massive. So again, a little bit of humility and just ask for help. And the answers will come. The answers will come if you're willing to hear them and you're truly committed to achieving this goal. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that's inspiring. And again, a lot of this stuff that we talk about is not comfortable. It's not easy. I don't come bearing good news. Ultimately, I do. But a lot of times we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror. And listen, I'm not asking you guys or encouraging you guys to do anything that I have not done several times. And continue to do. Because this never gets mastered. You get better at it and things get easier, but then new challenges and new opportunities present themselves, and that's just always allowing for more growth. So just know that everything that you want in this life is just on the other side of that discomfort that you're avoiding. So I encourage you to just walk face first right into it. If you need some help doing this, I would love to provide that for you. You can reach out to me at mattstarcoaching.com, and I do coaching one-on-one, either in person in Los Angeles or anywhere in the world via Skype or FaceTime. Or if you'd like me to come speak to you or your business or your employees, I do that as well. And so just reach out to me, and I hope to see you soon.